Good evening, I'm Matt Woodman. This is CTV News at 5. Tonight, swapping starters. The Oilers trade Stuart Skinner to the Penguins for another goalie. Highway crash. A bus carrying a junior hockey team slides off the road in northern Alberta. And Critter Camp, how kids can get a behind-the-scenes look at a local animal shelter.
CTV Edmonton, local breaking news with Matt Woodman.
The Edmonton Oilers are shaking things up. The team has traded away two local players, goaltender Stuart Skinner and defenseman Brett Kulak, to the Pittsburgh Penguins. A new goalie is coming to Edmonton. The Oilers GM hopes Tristan Jarry is the team's starting goalie for at least 3 more playoff runs. CTV's Evan Kenny joins us now with all the details. So, Evan, what did the Oilers general manager have to say today about Jarry?
Matt, Stan Bowman pointed out Jarry's numbers over his career and his salary cap hit as 2 main factors for acquiring the 30-year-old. Skinner had his ups and downs with the Oilers, but his last 5 games had been nearly as good as any 5-game stretch he had with the team.
And the Edmonton Oilers improved to 14-11-6.
Less than 12 hours after earning a win against the Detroit Red Wings, Stuart Skinner has been shipped out of Edmonton. Brett Kulak and a second-round pick are also heading to Pittsburgh in exchange for goaltender Tristan Jarry and a prospect.
If you look at Tristan's track record, he's a very strong performance for a number of years. I think it was really just last season was the only time when he had a stretch where it wasn't at the same level.
This season, Jarry has given up fewer goals per game than Skinner. His save percentage is also stronger.
It wasn't just about, a couple games here or there. It was about a career sample size.
While fans shopping at United Sport and Cycle can now find deals on jerseys, they have mixed emotions.
I mean, we're in a win-now mode, so we need to have someone who can come up with the saves.
I'm happy about it. Excited to see him go. I wasn't a huge fan of him.
Now I'm kind of sad that he's, not on our team anymore.
One of his biggest fans, who calls herself Mama Skinner, says she's devastated.
I'm going, no, it can't be true. It cannot be true. It just can't.
She's been a fan of Skinner since the Oilers drafted him and has met him multiple times.
Nobody can replace him. He's embedded in my heart. I'm just completely devastated that he's gone.
The Oilers also made a deal for 20-year-old defenseman Spencer Stastny, sending a 3rd-round pick back to Nashville. The Oilers and their new players face off against Toronto tomorrow. Evan Kenny, CTV News, Edmonton. While the Oilers traded 2 local players today, Jarry does have an Edmonton tie. He played alongside Oilers forward Curtis Lazar with the Edmonton Oil Kings, winning 2 Western Hockey League championships and a Memorial Cup. Matt?
And in case you weren't sure, that was CTV's Evan Kenny live for us tonight. Thank you. A Northern Alberta hockey team is recovering after their charter bus slid into a ditch on a highway. 2 players were flown to hospital with injuries. It happened just before 8 a.m. on Highway 2 south of Athabasca. The bus was carrying the Athabasca Rivermen. They were slated to play this weekend in Crow's Nest Pass in southern Alberta. 16 passengers and a bus driver were on board. The players are between the ages of 15 to 19. 2 players were taken to hospital in Edmonton with non-life-threatening injuries. Other players were treated on scene for bumps and bruises. Mounties say road and weather conditions were poor at the time. It was -37 with blowing snow and icy patches.
It's one of those files where we count our blessings and, that no one was injured more and that we were able to respond quick enough that there was no, as you said, either hypothermia or any cold effect as well.
The Rivermen play in the National Junior Hockey League. It issued a statement thanking first responders for their swift action and ensuring the safety of everyone involved. Edmonton police are looking for a dark-colored SUV after 2 suspicious deaths early this morning. The Edmonton Police Service says they got a call about gunshots reported near 32nd Street and 26th Avenue just before 2 o'clock this morning. Police found 2 men in their 20s with gunshot wounds. Both died there. Police are looking for information on a dark-colored SUV that may have been in the area at the time. A homicide unit is investigating. Police believe the killings were targeted. An overnight fire that ripped through a building just north of downtown has damaged a piece of Edmonton's history. The building on 95th Street and 113th Avenue went up in flames just before 3 a.m. 8 fire crews doused it for hours while also fighting the extreme cold. The building features a mural of Alberta's former Lieutenant Governor Lois Hole. The mural was part of the Giants of Edmonton initiative in 2008. The artist behind the mural says the idea was to celebrate people who made major contributions to the city.
She had somewhat recently passed, so she was sort of in a way walking away from the viewer. That was sort of the idea. And then of course the sort of floral arrangement that was in the sort of foreground of the picture.
Fire crews remained on scene into the afternoon, putting out hot spots. And while the building is heavily damaged, it's unclear whether the mural can be saved. The artist is more concerned about anyone affected by the fire, but suggests a new mural could be painted in the future. Edmonton Fire says no one was inside at the time and no injuries have been reported. The federal and provincial governments are extending Alberta's childcare deal by 1 year. They're promising to keep fees at an average of $15 a day until March of 2027. The new agreement will see Ottawa transfer more than $1.1 billion to Alberta in 2026 and 2027. That money is to maintain affordable grants supporting licensed operators and to continue building the national childcare system. Some Alberta daycare operators say they're grateful to see the deal extended, but warn they also need more long-term certainty. A legislature committee has agreed to give Elections Alberta nearly $7 million in additional funding to deal with a number of recall petitions. Chief Electoral Officer Gordon McClure requested the extra funding because his office is dealing with 21 active recall petitions. McClure told the committee last week verifying each petition would cost a little more than $300,000. A further $1.5 million is needed for shipping and postage of petition documents. All but one of the recall campaigns are against members of Premier Danielle Smith's UCP caucus, including the Premier herself. The Alberta Teachers Association says it's using every tool at its disposal to hold the province to account for the way it ended the teacher strike.
What was told at the bargaining table and then what was commented afterwards seem to be two different things, and we need clarity on that.
The ATA is filing a complaint with Alberta's Labour Relations Board. In addition to 61 grievances, the ATA says the government is attempting to get out of promises. It says the 3,000 new teachers it was promised were always part of the budget. Labour Relations Professor Jason Foster says the ATA wants to keep teachers on Albertans' minds and the provinces ahead of budget talks.
If constituents continue to call their MLAs and say, what are you doing about the education budget, then I think that could have a tangible impact on what they end up doing in the budget.
Foster says the ATA has nothing to lose by bringing the Labour Relations Board into the mix. He says there is a small chance the board's recommendations could work in the association's favor. Kids are getting a chance to explore areas of the Edmonton Humane Society not usually open to the public. The Humane Society offers day camps for kids aged 6 to 12. It's a chance to learn about how a shelter works and about ways they can help animals in their community. The camp includes a behind-the-scenes tour, making toys, and of course, getting to spend some time with the animals.
So really, it's a nice mix of fun and engaging opportunities, and just games and crafts and all those fun things that have an educational component for sure. Really, we want to build another generation of people that really care about animals and know how to care for them properly.
The cost to attend the camp is $75. That money will help animals at the shelter, and there are still spots available for the camp this weekend and next. People living on Candy Cane Lane are getting ready to flip the switch on a Christmas tradition. Candy Cane Lane runs along 148th Street between 92nd and 99th Avenues. Since 1968, people in the Crestwood neighborhood have been decorating their homes and inviting people to come see their holiday displays. You can also book an hour-long sleigh ride online for $25 a passenger, and there are some new additions this year as well.
We have a whole team of snow sculptures going to be doing 10 sculptures all the way down the lane, various points over the event from tonight until January 2nd. And our theme is Canada this year, so it's all different snow sculptures. Some of them are really big, some of them are a lot smaller.
If you decide to take a stroll along Candy Cane Lane, you're encouraged to bring a donation for Edmonton's food bank. Since 1993, the lane has collected more than 600,000 kilograms of food for people in need. People are going to need a lot of winter clothing, Josh, if they plan on checking out Candy Cane Lane tonight. It is cold out there.
Yeah, temperatures will moderate a little bit as we head through the course of the next couple of days. A big warm-up on the way for Monday. Tomorrow's still going to be on the cold side. We're at minus 20 in downtown Edmonton right now. The wind has been around 10 kilometers per hour, so not really all that strong, but enough that you get a wind chill of minus 27 in the city, outside the city, into the minus 30s here at Elk Island and south the city at YEG. Minus 20 is going to end up as the daytime high for today. That's 15 degrees colder than average, minus 27 this morning. Thankfully, the wind this morning was calm, so no wind chill through the morning hours. That'll be the case again tomorrow morning. The wind will be fairly light, and then by lunchtime and through the afternoon, starts to get a little gusty tomorrow. There's your snow, and as expected, we've been on the edge of this, although it looks like just on the northwest corner there and back off to the northwest in that purple zone, you do have some slightly more significant snowfall coming down in that area, so we might end up with a centimeter or two here in parts of the Edmonton region. Further to the south, you can see the snow stretches all the way to Calgary and then off into southeastern Alberta, where we have a snowfall warning. There's also a snowfall warning for the Icefields Parkways. By early tomorrow morning, could see 10 to 15 centimeters of snow there. We'll see the snow taper off by about 7, 8 o'clock tonight. Minus 23, wind chill of around minus 28 later on this evening. Look at tomorrow morning, minus 28 in the morning. Wind to be about 5 to 10 kilometers per hour. So it's going to feel about 10 degrees colder. And then through the afternoon, yes, we get back into the mid-minus teens, which looks good on the surface, but southeast 20 gusted to 30 kilometer per hour wind will make it feel in the minus 20s all day. So it's not until Sunday that it feels noticeably warmer. And then above zero Monday? Closer look at that in a couple minutes.
All right, Josh, thank you. Coming up next on CTV News, straining the system. The number of new influenza cases in Alberta has more than doubled.
So it's having a massive impact on our emergency departments and on our hospitals.
Programming brought to you by A Very Merry Pops with your Edmonton Symphony Orchestra. Learn more at winspearcenter.com.
Monday in your morning, how to talk to your kids about a very delicate topic, Santa Claus, a primer on having the other talk and preserving Christmas magic. We'll see you at 6.
Your Morning Edmonton, weekdays.
H. Brown Injury Lawyers, the heavy hitters of injury law.
You're watching CTV News at 5.
Spiking flu cases across the province are straining an already stressed healthcare system. Last week, the number of new lab-confirmed cases of influenza was more than double the week before. As CTV's Nicole Weisberg reports, doctors are seeing cases in the emergency room.
Dangerously cold outside, hours-long wait inside. And former Medical Association President Paul Park says the pressure on hospitals recently has been immense.
Last week, the Royal Oaks had over 109 patients in their waiting room. Like, this is unheard of.
Parks is an emergency room physician in Medicine Hat. He says he's heard from colleagues across the province respiratory viruses are hitting hard.
About right now, half of all of our presentations to emergency departments are what we call influenza-like illness.
Provincial data shows influenza is the main illness circulating. Last week, Alberta recorded more than 1,500 new cases. There were close to 700 new cases the week before. The dominant strain of flu is H3N2. Doctors say that's atypical.
When we see more H3N2 circulating, we know those years are going to be more challenging, meaning there's going to be more hospitalizations, there's going to be more cases of severe illness and people seeking care.
You can tell pretty soon if somebody's got a really, really bad fever that just won't go down, if they're having trouble breathing, if they've got signs of getting confused, then definitely call 811 for advice, and you may need to call 911.
Doctors say while this year's influenza vaccine isn't an exact match to the flu strain circulating, it still protects.
Get vaccinated, get vaccinated, get vaccinated. It may be a little less effective, but it'll prevent serious cases that, may require hospitalization.
A message doctors hope will get through ahead of holiday gatherings. Nicole Weisberg, CTV News, Edmonton.
COVID vaccine coverage in Alberta is just shy of 2% for kids under the age of 11. The Alberta Medical Association believes the reduced uptake in COVID shots is because of barriers from the province. That includes the $100 fee and limiting where kids can get the shot. The AMA has written a letter to the province outlining why COVID shots should be available to all children for free and not just kids with specific pre-existing conditions. In a statement, the province claims the COVID vaccination uptake has dropped in line with the impact of the virus. Still to come tonight on CTV News, what's going to happen to a popular local bakery once its new owners take over?
Programming brought to you by James H. Brown Injury Lawyers, the heavy hitters of injury law.
Popular bakery in central Edmonton that was put on the market this summer is sold. Hazeldean Bakery owner Lucy Liu is retiring at the end of the month. The bakery has been part of the Hazeldean Strip Mall for 50 years. Liu took over ownership 15 years ago. A sign on the door says the business will close on Christmas Eve.
Yeah, I just want to move to the BC with my family. So this is why I choose to sell the business.
I've lived in the neighborhood for 38 years. And I've been coming to this bakery every week.
The new owners of the Hazeldean Bakery will take over after Christmas, and we're told it will remain a bakery. Josh, I am a terrible baker, but I might just have to. Yeah, no, you really shouldn't be. There's a reason I bring nothing to the newsroom on potluck day. But I might just have to open up that oven just for the sake of warming the place up this weekend. It's freezing out there.
Yeah, it's going to be another cold one tomorrow. I mean, temperatures will climb, but the wind chill is going to defeat most of that warming. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday are your break. And then, as we'll show you in a moment, we get back into another deep freeze after that. We're at minus 20 right now as you look through the Skycam. It's brought to you by Action Furnace. Fixed right or it's free. Snow flying around in the Edmonton area. Minus 29 in Fort McMurray. It's minus 24 in Grand Prairie. Look at this, minus 33 in Lloydminster. Red Deer, you've got some snow and some blowing snow. Wind is up around 25 kilometers per hour. So wind chill in the Red Deer region is in the minus 30 range. Look at this, minus 33, but it feels like minus 41 in Lloydminster, and high levels at minus 40 wind chill. We'll see some more minus 40 wind chills in this pink zone overnight and early tomorrow morning. Cold warning for those areas south of Medicine Hat, 15 to 20 centimeters of snow, so a snowfall warning there. And this should be done by early to mid-morning tomorrow, but you could see as much as 15 centimeters of snow in along parts of the Icefields Parkway. Along the QE2, it has been snowing and blowing all afternoon. We're on the northern edge of that snow here in Edmonton, so a few more hours. But by the time we get to about 8, 9 o'clock tonight, that should all be well to the south of us. And then tomorrow, most of the snow is going to be off to the northwest. There may even watch Highway 43 tomorrow afternoon. If you have plans to be on that highway, check road conditions before you head out tomorrow afternoon. There may be some brief periods of sort of a rain-snow mix or maybe even some freezing rain. That's the punch of warmer air that comes in, although the wind's going to be gusty. And then Sunday, most of the snow Sunday is north of Edmonton, Grand Prairie, east towards Cold Lake. But there's a slight chance midday that you might see a brief flurry go through. No real heavy snow expected through the course of the weekend, but late Saturday and again midday Sunday, you might see some light snow. Here's the warm-up. You see the Blues start to take over. There's Sunday, and there is Monday. For one day, we get back above zero. I've been hesitant to go above zero for a daytime high on Monday. It looks like that's probably very likely at this point. There's your cooler air starting to slip back in, though, and by Wednesday, Thursday, temperatures once again drop back into the minus 20s. So it'll be a brief warm-up, but enjoy Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, because the cold is coming back, and it looks like that next cold spell will last a little longer than this current deep freeze. Here's your wind chills in the pinks, in the minus 40s across most of northern, northeastern Alberta. Be close to minus 40 as well in Lloydminster tomorrow morning. Daytime highs tomorrow, about minus 17, minus 18 with some snow across the northwest. A couple centimeters worth of snow in through the Peace Country. Minus 20 for Fort McMurray. Wind will be stronger in the northeast than it will be in the northwest tomorrow afternoon. It's only going to feel about 5 degrees colder there, but should feel in the minus 27 to minus 32 range, even in the afternoon in the northeast tomorrow. Red Deer up to minus 7. And here in Edmonton, we'll start the day close to minus 30. Get back to about minus 14 in the afternoon, and then through the evening, temperatures continue to climb. By Sunday, we're in the minus 8 range, above zero briefly Monday, and then cooling off middle to the end of next week again.
All right, Josh, thank you. After nearly half a year of construction, the low-level bridge has partially opened to traffic. Cars are now traveling in both directions on the bridge. In late July, northbound traffic was diverted to the James McDonald Bridge. Southbound traffic was diverted to the northbound lanes on the low level. The city says construction crews strengthened and replaced some of the steel parts on the southbound bridge. It also cleaned up some of the corrosion on the steel truss. The city says it's now planning for rehabilitation work on the northbound part of the bridge. When we return, checking in how a group of men is working together to help charities in St. Albert.
I think it's amazing that organizations like this exist.
CTV News at 5 continues.
Help us build a mountain of toys. Donate today at ctvedmonton.ca.
A group of 100 men in St. Albert has been writing checks for $100 apiece 4 times a year. CTV's Merrick DeCash explains where the money is going.
A group of men from St. Albert are spreading some cheer ahead of the holidays.
We get together 4 times a year, 100 guys, and we bring in 3 charities that we think could use some help.
The 100 men call themselves a charitable social club with a goal to help smaller organizations.
When we hear from the 3 charities, the guys vote, pick one of the 3, and they all write a $100 check to the charity, and 100 guys and 100 checks gives the charity $10,000.
Making their pitches this time around, Sports Central, neutral ground, and adaptabilities.
It would be really nice to increase the operational capacity and efficiency of our bike shop. We're asking for some more powered stands for our volunteers.
We have literally 1 part-time employee and about 40 volunteers.
Together, you and adaptabilities can make a profound difference. So thank you very much for your time.
Near the end of the evening, votes are tabulated and a winner is selected.
The charity that you've selected to receive your contribution today is Neutral Ground.
Neutral Ground runs free events where people can connect over hobbies and activities.
I think it's amazing that organizations like this exist. I think it's the fact that they're prepared to give what they can give.
100 men just doing what they can to help. Merrick DeCash, CTV News, Edmonton.
And that's our show. Thanks for watching. I'm Matt Woodman. CTV News continues right now.